As we come to you live from the Hy-Vee High School headquarters, where Hy-Vee proudly supports the student athletes, coaches, officials, and teachers of Iowa high schools. Hy-Vee making life easier, healthier, and happier. And a reminder to all those football fans, Friday Night Live in about a month. On Friday night, we'll begin 6 to midnight with Iowa high school football coverage from the Missouri to the Mississippi, from Class 4A to 8-player. Full coverage of all the games throughout the state, all the scores each and every Friday night on the great affiliate ESPN Radio AM 1700 and all affiliates across the state. You can check out our website for those, as well as on television on WHO 13.2 and Mediacom channels 113 and 246. Complete coverage, all the scores, the scoreboard show every Friday night from 10 to midnight. By the way, the Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau reminds us that texting kills. Log on to iagtsb.org. The Governor's Traffic Safety Bureau reminding you that it is thumbs down while texting and driving. Let's be safe out there, folks, as we continue on. We're trying to effort Justin Dehmer, the head baseball coach at Martensdale-St. Mary's, and I think we finally get him hooked up. Again, throughout the football season, 6 to 10 for Friday Night Live. We'll have all the scores from 10 to midnight and also go around the state with our great affiliates, play-by-play voices at the ball games that they're at, as well as getting you scoreboards update. And we'll have our great crew, in fact, numerous correspondents across the state at key games updating us throughout the night on the games as well. So again, check it out. In about a month, it's Iowa high school football. When you look outside and walk outside right now in the 90s and the heat up to the hundreds there, you got to be careful, but football practice will be getting soon with the baseball and softball season winding down. And Iowa Sports Connection will have our rankings as well. We'll keep up with the statistical leaders just like we did during the softball season and the baseball season, updated each week on who's leading the way in baseball and softball. And right now we're still trying to effort Justin Dehmer of Martensdale-St. Mary's. Again, they're on that winning streak. Tomorrow night they are in their district finals. If they beat they win tomorrow night, that'll tie the national record. And then on Tuesday for the sub-state championship, a chance to win, break the national record at 83 games. Is he ready, Ben?
Yes.
He is ready. Justin Dehmer joins us right now. He's the head baseball coach at Martensdale-St. Mary's. How are you, Justin?
Good, actually. We're right at practice right now.
But never hard. You know, it's amazing. I got to go back a few weeks because I had an opportunity to keep my eyeballs on this team, which I did last year as well. But at the tournament, the Brent Prongi tournament, Memorial Tournament, I went out to Southeast Polk to watch you play a couple big games and getting out there taking pictures on the field and sticking around the dugout. It's almost hard to imagine how really everyday the kids just seem like it's just another game. You've got a pretty good group of kids who really understand what's going on out there, don't you?
Yeah, I think we take a pretty good approach to every game and getting them ready and, staying pretty level-headed about things and not, worrying about what's going on really, on the streak and all that, and just getting down and playing baseball.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the streak. I mean, it's been, every night you're going to get everybody's best, and you're going to see the best arms against you as well. It's been an interesting season. You've had, maybe some bumps and ups and downs. The other night, the team showed a lot of character being down against a very good Carlisle team who's got the potential of reaching that state tournament in Class 3A, but your kids found a way and battled back to win that game.
Yeah, that was probably at this point, the game of the year for us. I mean, going up against a 3A team who we hadn't played really in the past since I've been here, and we got them on the schedule this year because we want to try to, challenge ourselves toward the end of the year and play some good quality teams, get us ready for postseason. And, yeah, we were down early, and we had to fight back and win that game, and it was tough, but, we ended up overcoming it, and, like you said, we just stayed level-headed, and we got guys that never panic and never, we never say die. So we had an opportunity to come back and scored 6 unanswered runs and win 8-5.
Well, I know you don't have to keep the kids' attention because, you say Southeast Warren and Liberty Center, they've had a pretty good baseball tradition as well, but at the same time, this is a pretty good rivalry. These kids know each other, close-knit schools, so the rivalry will keep this game at an uptick when you go for that district championship tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, these kids, a lot of them grew up playing, against each other. This isn't the first time around for us and them. We've always been playing them. They're in our conference, so we see them 2 times a year, and then typically we get them in the postseason too, and we've had some pretty good success against them, which we hope to just continue to carry into this game.
You know, we never want to look ahead, and I know it's one game at a time and all that, but you only have two seniors on this team, two outstanding seniors leaders, and Ethan Westfall and Dylan Coates. This is a team that's going to be back next year just as strong. But when you look at this, you look at this team over what they've accomplished the last 2 years, you know what you're getting from the top, but there's always that kid or two that you weren't expecting to step up. And a lot of times they don't get the recognition for doing all the little things, the dirty things. You had to replace some kids from last year's state championship team. Let's start behind the plate and how that's worked out for you this year.
We've kind of managed it with three guys, actually. We had a great catcher, Nick Farron, last year who caught every game for us, and we didn't have to worry about it. And we just knew Nick would be catching. But Dakota Wenzel's filled in really well for us, and David Walker, and then our other catcher, Zeb Knoll, and we kind of just done it by committee. Each guy's kind of been responsible for one of our pitchers for the most part, and then we kind of just mix it up with our other guys. But they've done a really nice job in a spot that, we had a senior back there last year who did a great job for us, blocking and throwing a few guys out for us here and there, and, it was a tough spot to fill, but they've done it nicely.
A lot of attention's been paid on you, and a lot of teams probably feel slighted this year across the state. One of them that probably has a lot of tradition and feels that way is Newman Catholic of Mason City, and hopefully down the road a lot of decisions will be made at the state tournament with some of these teams. But boy, when you look at this class and the potential of what's going to reach the state tournament with the likes of Don Bosco of Gilbertville, NU High of Cedar Falls has a great pitcher there. There's Coon Rapids Bayard has a nice team. There's some really good teams in Class 1A this year. For people to say this is a free ride for Martensdale-St. Mary's to win a state championship, I think that's far from being right.
Yeah, well, we know there's other great programs out the 1A level, and we know there's also going to be some teams that, might sneak in there as an 8 seed or 7 seed or whatever, and that's why we play the tough schedule that we do with as many games as we do. So if we do make it to the state tournament, we'll be hopefully a number 1, number 2 seed every time and have a good chance of going up against a team that we think we've got a real good opportunity to beat and kind of keep going from there. But yeah, obviously Newman's good and Key's a good team, and some of those, I know Key and Don Bosco will eventually play each other if all things work out, and in the district finals they play in the sub-state, so one of those two teams is not going to be there, which is tough for 1A because those are both really quality programs with a lot of good tradition as well, and you like to see everybody there in the end, the final 8, but it just doesn't work out that way geographically, I guess.
Yeah. Another team that probably feels slighted is right there in your own backyard. The girls, the softball team. What a season they put together. They're undefeated. What a season over there in Blue Devil Country.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. I'm sure to be a fan of baseball and softball programs this summer. You haven't seen too many losses, I guess. So it's been awesome, and they already made the state tournament, so we're hoping to follow in their footsteps here with a couple more wins. We're
talking to Justin Dehmer. He's the head baseball coach of Martensdale-St. Mary's, getting set tomorrow night in a district finals against Southeast Warren of Liberty Center, a neighborhood rival, and to try to win that district championship. In the process, we'll tie the national mark, and then in the sub-state finals, a chance to break the national mark set by Portsmouth in New Hampshire. So it'll be an outstanding effort there. But Coach, let's talk about your pitching staff. It's an amazing, when you talk 4A and 3A baseball, you usually have those 3 or 4 arms you can count on night in and night out. A lot of times in Class 1A, that possibility is usually not there. You're looking for 2 kids to carry and a bunch of other guys to fill in innings, but you've got a pretty good staff of pitchers led by Ethan Westfall.
Yeah, he's our guy last year, and his innings are definitely down this year. We haven't needed to use him as much, and we've kind of upped some innings on other guys, and they've filled in, and done a great job for us as well. I think a lot of people say, oh, we're just a one pitcher team, which is absolutely not the case. I think we have, a bunch of good starters who can be on any given night, and a good handful of guys who can come in for us and fill some spots for us when we need them to, and they've done an excellent job. I think we have 8 or 9 guys who have 1 win on the mound for us this year, so, that's, there's some depth there, definitely, and they've done a great job.
We'll talk about, you've got some pretty good experience on your coaching staff. Talk about those gentlemen who've really, with yourself, have really done a great job of keeping these kids focused and keeping themselves grounded. It's not a cocky group of kids. I've been around them. They're just an easygoing group. They're pretty proud of themselves, and they have a right to be, but they pretty much are grounded, and that's something that you and your coaching staff has worked hard on.
Yeah, well, my assistant is Sean Smith, who's actually a member of the very first team that won a state title here at Martensdale-St. Mary's. and has numerous school records, and is kind of a legend here in Martensdale-St. Mary's, the baseball community, and he knows his baseball. And then my other volunteer assistant is Steve Westfall. So not too many people can say they have a volunteer assistant who's a Hall of Fame member at the Baseball Coaches Association. So we're pretty lucky to have him around and helping us out when he can, and just his presence in the dugout sometimes helps out a lot. But he's a guy who knows the game and has been around the game and shares the passion for the game, just like myself and Sean and all these guys out here.
Well, Justin, I can say this much. This has been exciting to watch unveil how this team has performed last year. Oh, wow, the ninth team to go unbeaten in Iowa high school baseball history, that's a huge mark. But now to try to go back-to-back for the first time, that says an awful lot. And to break a national record. Exciting times in Iowa high school baseball. A little state like Iowa and a little town in Martensdale and St. Mary's producing such talent like this. It's a great success story, and we wish you the best of luck. And nothing against any of your opponents, but a lot of people are following this story, and we wish you the best of luck against Southeast Warren tomorrow night in the district finals.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having us on.
You bet. Justin Dehmer, head baseball coach at Martensdale-St. Mary's, top-ranked, the defending champs in Class 1A. It's a good group of kids, guys, to get behind, guys and gals to get behind. They take care of business out there, and they're not a cocky group. They're pretty well-grounded, and I can say that because I've been around them a little bit, and I think it's a great thing. And I'm not cheering against anybody else who's playing them, but it is a great story. When you think about the streak, this has got to be the toughest sport to do it in baseball, because you don't know who their pitching matchups are going to be with rainouts and who your schedule goes. Things can change in arms. You have to take care of arms in baseball. There are rules on how many innings kids can pitch and all that. So it is a game of mistakes when you bat 300 and errors, and you just never know. A bad pitching night, a bad hitting night, things go together. To put a streak like this together, to me, is amazing. Probably one of the more amazing streaks in any kind of Iowa high school sports. But we see tomorrow night, Southeast Warren to Liberty Center. It's at Martensdale-St. Mary's, the chance to tie the national streak. And I'm sure there'll be a lot more than just Southeast Warren fans. The Warhawks will be there. Blue Devil fans will be there, but it'll be a lot more. We'll be back with more of Friday Night Live right here on the Iowa Sports Connection Radio and Television Network. Next, it's Amy Farmer, Ankeny head softball coach, and then Jim Flaws from Carlisle. More Friday Night Live after this timeout.